by men has been happening every Saturday in the month of November. Today, we're chatting to dads with children on the spectrum, dads with kids on the spectrum. And now, such a delight to say welcome to Cedric, who is joining us via StreamYard to be able to have this conversation. Cedric, good afternoon, sir. Love your Springbok jersey. Ready for the game that kicks off at 5 o'clock, hey? Or 10 past 5, we should say.
Thank you. Yes, definitely. Yes, we're here to support one another.
Exactly. We got to support one another. And I got to just say, if it wasn't, I was in two minds of, do I put on my Springbok jersey or not? Normally, I would be wearing a Springbok jersey this time of the afternoon. But I thought, you know what? I want to make that this content can live for as long as it needs to live on video and on whichever spaces it goes onto, so that we can help as many dads as possible. Because let's be honest, being a dad of a child on the autism spectrum is not an easy thing. So, Cedric, on that note, tell us a little bit about your journey as a dad of a 16-year-old autistic teenager.
Okay. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes, we can definitely hear you clearly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Cedric. My wife's name is Gaino. We are the parents of Zachary Jed, lovely and some 16-year-old autistic boy. He's just a pleasure to have, and also regardless of his challenges, so we are so blessed to have him.
Sure, that's fantastic. And how did you guys learn and discover that your son was autistic?
Well, Zach was very much, he was an early learner. He was very advanced. He started speaking before he was 1 year old, counting. He could call us mom, dad, the dog's name, everything. And then all of a sudden there was a reverse after his first birthday. Speech slowed down, and it looked like he couldn't hear us to that point where he was no longer communicating with us like he used to. So that was a kind of like a turning point.
And some people would ask you, Cedric, but was there not like some kind of a weird disease or something that happened? You know, you hear of children that fall or get bumped or accidents or what have you?
Okay. The only thing I can really think of significantly would be the time he spent quite a lot of time. He was rushed to hospital with giardia, picked up a parasite. So he was treated quite extensively, obviously with medication. Some meds had to be used to rid him of the giardia, which is quite hectic, caused severe diarrhea. So we had to do a turnaround. That was quite hectic for him. So I think that could also have been possibly one of the triggers. Not to say that we've proven that or anything like that, but that seems to have also played a role in the whole change.
No, for sure. And then, Cedric, let's just talk about it. What does your life look like? How do you, as a family, go about doing everyday life? Because that's the thing. It's not something that you can control. It's not something that you can even predict.
No, definitely not. And also, you have to be very organized when you've got a child with special needs. Any changes that you make, even small changes, that could affect them extensively. Their daily routine, set times, getting up, the way they do their cleaning, breakfast, whatever, dressing. If there's anything that's totally out of the external, the norm, that can really upset their day or, just try and throw them out. So it's been quite hectic to adjust to that type of scenario, but also it's helping us also. You have to be more organized than your child, in order for them to succeed.
Yeah. What kind of strain has it put on your marriage, if you don't mind me asking, Cedric?
If you look at statistics, I mean, even in general, besides me and my wife personally, obviously there's huge scenarios where you find that when you identify a special needs family, you find support systems just disappearing. You're talking spiritual support from government, support wherever. You just find that you have to look for your tribe. If you don't find your tribe, you're going to be lost, really, because you find all of a sudden, even from the spiritual point, I mean, it's just like people either, you'll find out who's there for you, and then on the other hand, you'll find out that there's a lot of people that just disappear out of your life. That is the reality of special needs, even besides autism, special needs in general.
Exactly. My heart goes out to you. I have a small idea because I too am a dad of a special needs child, a little girl who on the 16th of December will be turning 14. And
Oh,
it
lovely.
hasn't been easy. But yeah,
Yes.
she's an amazing girl at times. Do you also find that? Let's just dad to dad. Do you also find it that there are moments where your teenager is this incredible human being, loving, caring, thoughtful, all those things, and then a moment later, it's like there's something wrong completely.
Yes, yes, they can actually become very sad. I think with Zach, for example, I think he knows that he's struggling to identify and speak with us. We've learned how to communicate with him. He's non-verbal, obviously, low in functioning, so it's quite a challenge. But over the years, we've kind of built up a kind of a way of communicating. My wife and I, we know, and maybe certain individuals, maybe his teachers at school, they understand him, to that point. But yes, there could be quite a contrast. The child could be very happy, and all of a sudden they get very sad and withdrawn. And also being a teenager, throwing the hormones and puberty, that's quite a mixed bag. That's a different type of, I always say to the younger parents, when your child becomes a teenager, you're going to have a different kind of special needs child. It's a different journey. It's the next chapter. They must kind of psychologically prepare themselves for that, because there's just a difference. You find that all parents, yes, neurotypical as well, but when it comes to special needs, it's on another level, extreme level. Yeah, I think you can identify what I'm speaking about.
Fully.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about that. Some of those everyday challenges. Maybe it's sensory issues, maybe it's schooling issues, communication, as you touched on, behavior. How do you approach these different issues that your child experiences?
Okay, we actually quite blessed to actually have been quite early involved already with Autism Connect, with Nikita Pepe and with Autism Connect. There's always been a good support from that side with the teachers. Zach's also always linked up, and he's kind of bonded with his teachers, which is good, I mean, I'm sure if you've spoken to Nikki, she's obviously spoken about a very good crew, a supportive staff. So that kind of complements things that we need to, overcome. Because we've got open dialogue. If Zach has got a problem, for example, he's been picking himself, which is quite traumatic, then I could actually contact his teacher and ask to look out for that, just make sure he's, because he bleeds. He bleeds when he does stuff like that, which is quite hectic. So that kind of synergy with, my wife and I at home working on things and having the support at the center as well. So does kind of bring us out of a lot of those things. We've had previously also, there was people that I can actually identify with who actually came on board. I remember I can mention a very close friend of mine, Donovan. He's a guy that actually came in, he's a special needs educator. He would personally break away from his family and come and help me, and it's kind of support that you need when you didn't know like what's going on with your child. And then that's the kind of guys that you really kind of bond with.
Definitely. Let's talk about that support structure, and you touched so beautifully on it, to have people that are in your corner, that are there
Yes.
to just be a help, a support. Even like for my wife and I to find a babysitter, we've got literally 3 young ladies' contact details whom we, whenever we need to do something or want to do something, we have to ask them, hey, are you available? Is it possible? How are we going to navigate this whole thing? But talk to us about your personal support structure that you have.
Yes, that's a good thing you mentioned that now. We've got a lot of, if you think about it, especially the couples, the special needs couples that we never like really go on dates any longer. For a lot of the couples, it's like, this is like unusual. Whenever there's something that comes up. There was a time when Zach was younger when we used to have people, like yourselves, where we could call on people. Basically, this time you find that Zach's got his auntie, Auntie Dickie, we can actually call on, and she's the only one really that really can actually be there. And this is the first time now, about a week ago, my wife and I actually went out. We went out actually, for a night. We can actually just relax, that type of thing. So yeah, it's been quite hectic. So like I said, you gotta keep the romance alive as well, also. And I've been having some health challenges myself, which has also caused a bit of a, your special needs family, and then you have health challenges yourself. So you yourself, you got to try and stay as healthy as possible to be there for your child. That's always a concern, And like I said, one of the things that we spoke with our parents in our meetings, where they said our biggest fear is that we no longer will be around to look after our kids, and who's going to look after our kids the way we care for them? So it's a big fear.
That
I'm
is
sure
a
you can
big,
empathize and identify with what I said now. It's
yeah,
hard. It's hard. It's so, yeah.
it really, really is. Ladies and gents, if you just tuned into CCFM, you might say, hey, yo, this is some heavy stuff that you guys are talking about this time of a Saturday afternoon. Yes, we need to talk about these important things. It's The Den. It's a roundtable discussion for men by men. And I'm joined via StreamYard with Cedric van Skalkwijk. He is the dad of 16-year-old Zach, a child who's on the autism spectrum. And we're just talking and unpacking this thing a little bit more before rugby gets started soon. But let's talk about it. What are what encouragement or advice would you give to other Christian dads who find themselves parenting a child who's on the special needs spectrum or autism spectrum, especially dads who might be struggling with discouragement, guilt, shame, or even just plain nasty fatigue?
Yes, yes, yes. I think there's a lot of with dads. We notice that there's quite a difference between the way dads and moms actually identify with it. Some of the dads take much longer or still trying to get to the reality of the child being special needs. And a lot of dads, when you got a son, you're always thinking about sports and about things like that. Even in the case of your daughter doing ballet and the lot. So you remember that one of the important things that we were told is that every little milestone is a big milestone for us. Whether your child's going to be independent, start dishing themselves, helping themselves in the toilet. Those are the major milestones. So I think a lot of the parents need to realize that, and not just think about, the matric balls coming up, university, stuff like that. So like for us, we have to measure milestones differently. So get to the reality of that. You got to get to the reality of it. Don't live in that world where you're going to be alone and you get turn to alcohol, drugs, and stuff like that. As a Christian, if you look at the perspective, God is there for you. There's many times when you can't just depend on your family, just in the case of your spouse, whatever, but you know that God is always there. And don't even judge yourself. There's many times. If you look at in the readings in the Bible where there was a blind guy, and then the disciples asked Jesus, Yeshua, who sinned? Did he sin or did his parents sin? That type of thing. And Jesus had a good response. We said that gives us an opportunity for God to show, His work, the works of wonder, and that's amazing. It's an opportunity. I've actually become a better person spiritually, and whatever the case may be, because of Zach. It's always like you measure yourself better, where you think to yourself, there's always room for self improvement. And as a dad, just remember you're not alone. We're reaching out.
Yeah.
We got a special needs group. We always encourage parents to be with us, and there are people that's there for you. You're not going to be alone in the fight.
There we go.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep you too much longer, Cedric. I definitely don't, because I know the game's about to start. But do want to just ask you one more question, and that is starting with the comment that J. John said, amazing evangelist, pastor. He said,
Yes.
when he talks about his Christian faith, he says, well, it's like your faith is like a crutch. That you've got, you're so weak, you need this crutch called Christianity. And he says, yes, I am weak, I'm fallen, I'm broken, and if that is going to help me, then I'm so grateful for it. And I'm paraphrasing horribly, but that is the point that I also want to just drive home for dads like you, Cedric, and what you've just said. There is a God who loves you, who is there for you, and we dads, men, need to be real, to say, I'm weak, I'm failing, I'm struggling. God help me, and allow him to come and help you, and allow brothers, as in biological brothers or brothers in Christ, to come alongside and encourage you. Hey?
Yes, definitely. I agree fully with that. And also, like if you look at biblically, when Jesus said, "Suffer the little children to come unto me," He said, "Make the kids should be allowed to come to me." When I find that there's many times when our kids are excluded from things, we need to educate people also. People that are not aware, they're not special needs families. They should be, more considerate, learn about it, get more involved with families that are special needs.
Yeah,
Are you still with that?
exactly. Yeah,
Thank you.
that's good. That is so good. That is so good. Ladies and gents, that's where we're going to let Cedric off the line because the game's about to start. It's been so great chatting to you, Cedric. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for making space for us and for speaking so honestly. There's so much more that we could talk about, but definitely we're going to have another conversation somewhere in the future, God willing.
Definitely. Looking forward to that, John. Thank you very much. Hey, God bless everybody. Take care. Don't forget, God is there for us. Don't worry.
Come on. That's so true. Thank you so much, sir. There we go. Thank you, sir. There we go.
God bless. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So then we had Cedric on StreamYard chatting to us just about being a dad to a special needs son.